Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Life According to Me, episode 6. I know it has been a minute since the last video, but you know what they say. It takes time to bake a cake. So today we're going to be talking about starting before you're ready, or as the title says, the time to plan is yesterday. As always, like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, do all that jazz. Couple of updates for me. Deconstruction AD Book 2 is underway. I started that about 2 weeks ago. No matter what, I plan on having an episode of The Human Project out within the next 2 weeks. That is it for my updates. Now, there's a couple of topics I did want to talk about. We're going to go ahead and go straight for the elephant in the room, which is the Russian-Ukraine war, for lack of a better. Whoa. Did you get that? That's the market just closed. The Russian-Ukraine conflict / war. I said this in a previous video when we were talking about the metaverse. Who knows? And if Russia invades the Ukraine, then the metaverse is definitely going to get bankrupt. Think about that. And that seems to be true. I haven't seen a news story or heard anything about the metaverse, nor have I heard much about COVID. Everything's been about the Russian-Ukraine war and gas prices, which are outrageous.
This morning, gas prices soaring to the highest average ever recorded, $4.17 a gallon.
I just filled up right now, and it cost me $50 versus normally it costing me $30.
Up 10 cents in just one day and 55 cents since last week, eclipsing the previous record of $4.10 a gallon set 14 years ago.
I think gas was maybe around $3.49 about a week ago. Then it jumped to $3.79, then $3.99, and this is for 87 octane, so adjust accordingly, right? But it jumped to $3.99, then it was $4.19 yesterday, and today it is $4.49, which is absurd. I don't think the oil price per barrel has really started to be a huge impact, but I think this is an opportunity for producers to capitalize on a crisis. You know what they say, never let a crisis go to waste, and that's what they're doing right now.
The price of oil is crashing, literally. But curiously, perhaps curiously but not surprisingly, the price of gas at the pump is not. And Lyft, the ride-sharing company, is adding fuel surcharges. So are a lot of small businesses. Think plumbers, electricians, or landscapers, all that make house calls using gas. Oil is down nearly 30% from the high, and predictions that it could reach $200 a barrel seem a little bit like a distant memory. You might even remember Vladimir Putin talked about $300 a barrel.
You're kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
You gotta be kidding me.
Also, why are we not more into electric and solar? A lot of the car makers have vowed to be completely electric by like 2025 or 2030.
If we take the amount of carbon for gasoline vehicle production and add to that the amount of annual emissions multiplied by T for time, and set this equal to the amount of carbon for electric vehicle production and add to that the amount of annual emissions also multiplied by T, then by solving for T, we get the exact number of years required in order for an electric car to have less lifetime emissions than a gasoline car. Putting in the numbers for the average gasoline vehicle in the United States against the average 30 kilowatt-hour battery electric car using the average energy mix, we find out that after just 1.67 years, an electric car is already producing less emissions than its gasoline competitor, with many, many years of useful life to come. In fact, even if you had to replace the battery, meaning you had the additional carbon of that second battery's production, you'd still break even in less than 3.5 years. And clearly batteries are going to last far longer than a couple years because manufacturers are providing 8-year, 100,000-mile warranties with them. Now, the story isn't quite as clean once you start getting into the higher capacity batteries. So doing the same car comparison with a 100 kilowatt-hour battery versus the average gasoline car results in 5.5 years needed to offset the carbon production. But 5.5 years is still way less than an electric car's useful life.
We have seen a lot of manufacturers do more with EVs, you know, Ford and Rivian, the F-150 Lightning EV, which is not out yet. You have the Hummer coming out. Another companies that have really jumped the gun are Volkswagen and Hyundai, which actually have EVs that are out on the road that you see quite often. And obviously Toyota had the Prius forever. So it's becoming a more mainstream thing to have an electric vehicle. And I'm sure the people that are driving around their EVs, passing by the gas pumps as they go up towards $5, have no worries in the world. They're just like, ha ha ha, idiots. So good for them. So Russia invaded the Ukraine. Is this the beginning of the end? I don't think so. I mean, superpowers don't really fight superpowers. So while, you know, we're part of NATO and so is Ukraine, and we're going to try to back them up, I don't think we will ever put boots on the ground. Not to mention, we've had enough issues with trying to fight everybody's war that maybe we need to hang back a little bit and let somebody else take the lead on this one. And the last thing I wanted to talk about before we jump into the meat of this video is the market. All right, so today is March 9th. The time is 4:18, and from looking on the screen, the Dow actually closed up, which is insane. Looking at these 5-minute candles, it opened somewhere around 32,853. Now it closed down off the high, but it closed at 33,244, give or take. I'm eyeballing it on these charts. The fact that we are still amidst the pandemic, which, okay, I'll give you that one. And we also are dabbling in what I have called a lukewarm war with Russia. The market's still going gangbusters and there's no reason for it. So yeah, the market's fake. It's like every day there's a new guru for trading or investing or Forex that's gonna tell you their special formula that will get you $1 million or whatever, and how they're gonna beat the market.
Are you kidding me?
Nobody beats the market. If you really want to make money in the market, here's my advice. And if I didn't put a disclaimer in the description, here it is. I am not a professional, period. That should cover everything. Don't listen to me. These are purely my opinions. This is all fictional. This is for entertainment purposes only. But if you want to make money in the market and you have no experience in trading, investing, or anything else, what you should do is just start investing with some form of regularity. And if you're looking for things to purchase items around your house, your electronics, your toothpaste, it's probably owned by Procter & Gamble. Your insurance company, it's probably owned by Berkshire Hathaway. Purchase household items, household names, the shoe brands you wear, etc., and do that with some regularity. Like every paycheck, maybe take $50 and buy some stocks. Do that for a year. Pay attention to the shareholder letters that come out. Pay attention to financial news like CNBC, Yahoo News. The iPhone will pop up and send you all kind of news on the market. Do that with some regularity for at least a year, investing regularly, because market's going to go up, market's going to go down. You'll be buying on the way up, you'll be buying on the way down. It doesn't really matter, but then at least you will have some understanding of how the market moves. I personally think there's going to be a huge market correction. There always is, just like there's going to be a huge real estate correction. Wait on that, because some people are going to be short selling their house and getting foreclosed on, and people that save their money are going to swoop in like peregrine falcons. That's how people are going to swoop in and grab houses from all these people that paid, you know, $1 million for a $200,000 house. But don't follow some YouTube guru who shows you a bunch of charts and different indicators of how they trade. You know, like, oh, I do MACD, or I use parabolic SAR, or blah, blah, blah. No. Like, you need to learn about the market. This is the only thing you will do if you follow a guru off of YouTube, is put money into somebody else's pocket that is wealthy already. If you by chance get lucky and do make money, then you'll just lose money. It's kind of like if you go to the casino and you win the first time and you don't walk away, you end up giving the casino all their money back. So there are people that made 10 grand in the market very early on, and then they're down 30 grand on the year. You got to learn.
You're gonna learn today
About what you're doing. People don't go to school for financial analysis or investment banking or any of these other disciplines just so they can have the same performance that Joe Schmo did after he watched a 6-minute YouTube video. Think about that. And after all that talking about, you know, financial news and markets, I do want to point out that maybe we are bankrupt in the metaverse. I'm going to bring it back to this whole Russia-Ukraine thing, because I really think this is going to help my hashtag bankrupt the metaverse. No one is talking about all this stupid buying pixels and whatnot, or I'm not even going to say NFTs. I'm not going to get into that. But don't waste your money on the metaverse. And don't be a hater in the comments either, because I'm not hating. I just think it's stupid. I'm kind of hating. I'm hating on the metaverse. All right, so now we're gonna jump into what you all came here for, which you didn't come here at all. Okay, so now we're gonna hop into the main portion of this video, which is about starting before you're ready. And while this channel is mainly focused around, entrepreneurs and people trying to build a business with a smaller focus on the writing world, because that's my main cup of tea, I believe this message is applicable to anyone, whether you want to start a business, whether you want to go back to school, whether you want to get your MBA, whether you want to become a real estate agent or a real estate broker, whatever the case may be, you're gonna have to start before you're ready. So the trick is really that you're never gonna be ready. You're bound to make mistakes, and no matter how much you plan, how much you try to get all your ducks in a row, when you start, you're gonna make mistakes. So you might as well start early and get those out of the way. Also, there's never really a right time to start a business or start whatever your passion is. There's always gonna be something that you can point to as an excuse for why you're not getting started. I mean, if you think and look back over, let's say, the last 25 years, there's literally a crisis every year that you could say, oh, this isn't a good year to start this career. You have the dot-com bust, you have 9/11, you have the SARS outbreak/pandemic, you have the Iraq war and the Iraqi invasion, also kind of the Afghanistan war. You have the launching of Facebook. You have the Katrina hurricanes in Louisiana and New Orleans. You have the global recession. You have the housing crisis / stock market crisis / employment crisis / too big to fail by all the auto manufacturers and bail out the banks and have JP Morgan buy Bear Stearns. And what was that one kind? I think it was AIG. Yeah, let them fail. Whatever. You have the Chechen war. You have the swine flu pandemic, the Haiti earthquake, the oil spill that happened that same year, civil unrest due to the Trayvon Martin murder, Boston Marathon bombing, the COVID epidemic, and last but not least, the Russian and Ukraine war, conflict, whatever. And throughout all those things that occurred, people have started, stopped, failed, and succeeded at businesses, careers, or whatever. So there's never really an excuse not to get started. Now, when people don't start something, there's usually one of three reasons that they give. The first being money. Now, if you're trying to launch a brick and mortar store or some sort, sure, there is a heavy investment involved up front, and that's the same for a lot of businesses, but there's never a reason why you can't start something. You can go direct to consumer, you can go online, or at a minimum, you could start the business, right? You can incorporate, you can get your EIN, that's free. You can start building business credit, and the same would be said if you were trying to start a career. So if you didn't have the money to go to a certain school, or if you didn't have enough money to pay for a full course load, you could take one class until you're capable of paying for more. I mean, there's always avenues around the things that are hindering you. You just have to be willing to fight to get it done. The next argument is time. Hate to tell you this, but you're not getting any more time. There are 24 hours in a day, and there are 365 days in a year, and that's not going to change. I could argue that, though, because I also think time is not real. It is a man-made construct. So if that's the case, you have all the time you need. If you want to be an entrepreneur, or if you want to be successful in anything, you're going to have to burn the candle at both ends. That means if you want to become a doctor, you may have to be studying for med school while you're working at a pharmacy. You may have to be, what I did, writing books while you're working at your day job. You may have to sleep for 4 hours a night just so you could spend the other time doing the things that you want to do. You got to work, and it's not going to be easy. I say this a lot. I'd rather it be hard. I actually want it to be hard. That sounds weird. The point is, you're not getting any more time, and the time you waste by not starting today is also lost time. So start early, run fast, pick a direction, and go. Another reason people don't start is knowledge. Not knowing how, which nowadays seems ridiculous. You can learn anything off of YouTube except for how to make millions of dollars in the stock market. You can learn tons of things online. There's forums. Facebook is actually good for this. One of the few things it's actually good for. You can find a community of like-minded people that are studying or involved in the thing that you want to be in, and you can learn from them. Another big teacher is experience. If you get started, you're going to learn things. So waiting until you feel that you've built up this wealth of knowledge before you get started in whatever your passion is only going to delay you and push your dreams further away. Anyway, that's about it for this topic. Next week, or actually the next video, will be about how to bank make billions in 2022, kind of like one of those YouTube guru videos I told you not to watch. Watch this one because it's going to be great. It's going to teach you how to make a lot of money. Billions, actually. All in 2022. I promise. I don't promise. Is that legally binding? I promise to the extent that it's not legally binding. My promise, that is. Anyway, as usual, like, share, subscribe. Trying to grow this channel a little bit. Or, you know, do what you've been doing, like soaking up all this knowledge I'm giving you and then not subscribing. That's rude. And as I said earlier, the Human Project will be coming. I know I keep saying that. Maybe I'm trying to build a suspense. Maybe I've already recorded it. That's a lie. I haven't recorded anything. I haven't done nothing. I suck. You just got to start something because the world is always headed for destruction. I feel like there's probably a meteor always skimming by us by like 100,000 miles, which is, it sounds huge, but it's really nothing out in space, in the vacuum of space. So it's like we're always on the brink of destruction. Why not do whatever it is that you are trying to do? Anyway, yeah, I got to go to soccer practice now. So catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching the video. You know, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And I will see you on episode 7, where I'll be telling you how to bank billions in 2022. Share with your friends. Adios.